He knows how to do it. So.
Bobby's the man.
All right, so we are live.
All right.
All right, we're here with CB3. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Charlie Bonnett
Oh
the third.
man, what's happening, everybody?
Doing good, man. Got a lot of cool shows coming up. Um, if you want to go ahead and just start, man, just if you want to give us a little background on you yourself and where you're from and what you do, and we don't really have a format, man. We just kind of wing it. We're just having conversations.
Yes, I'm Charlie Bont the third. I'm from parts unknown, and I've been playing longer than Jesus was on the earth because I'm old. And we're bringing it to Coshocton, Ohio once again, man. The 12th of December, an acoustic show. So anybody that's not familiar with me, I only plagiarize and steal from the best out there. So I'm like very Leonard Skinner-ish, very Steve Earle-ish. But my heart and soul is in like 80s rock music, man. That's what I grew up on. And I just love all those kind of bands. And I'm friends with a lot of those bands. And that's why we're bringing a couple people to Coshocton, Ohio, the 12th of December, man. Studio 117.
Nice. That'll be your first time in the studio, right?
Never been there, man. I've been following along online. Looks like you guys got a really cool thing happening.
Really cool venue, man.
Really
Really.
cool. It's beautiful. I'm a fan of Coshocton in general. I mean, when I first moved to Ohio almost 5 years ago now, it's like Coshocton was the first town in Ohio to like kind of take me in as like the ugly old step kid that's invited into the city, you know. And
Stray
I'm
dog,
still,
right?
yeah, I'm a straight, just a mangy stray animal, and I'm still friends with 99% of the people from back then. They're in Coshocton, so it's like I'm happy to be coming back, dude. It's like I just appreciate all y'all's hard work, man.
Well, we look forward to having you, man. I know you've done other acoustic shows down here before, and you have a pretty good following down here. So it should be a really good night, man. And the guys that you're bringing with you are amazing artists.
Yeah, it's a different animal. It's like, as you know, man, like playing in a band, overhead is so high, and you make more money on an acoustic guitar than you do with a band.
Right.
Even though you would think that like there's more moving parts, there's more value to a band, but it's like it's weird. It's the opposite. So I pay the bills and keep the water bill paid and the electric company off my back with an acoustic guitar, and that's usually at moose lodges and all the little animal clubs, the eagles and the
Right.
elks and all that, you know. And it's like,
I guess I never thought of the animal clubs. Yeah.
yeah, the animal clubs, man. But it's like that's reality for a lot of these musicians, man. And it's like, I mean, like I'm friends with a lot of people that I grew up like worshiping like rock stars, man. And like let's take Steve from Trickster. So for y'all that don't understand, Trickster was super famous around 1990, like an MTV band, like they were massive, man. They were on MCA Records. Well, Steve has since produced the most recent Ace Frehley album, and he's the substitute guitar player in Def Leppard.
Nice.
But he also, I mean, he plays acoustic shows like I do, and he's in a cover band. And he's like, just because you might play a stadium with Def Leppard one night, you might be back with the cover band 2 days later making a couple $100 down at the
Right.
local bar. You know, it's like, that's just real life, man. So it's like, my
Yeah.
point in that is like, I do a lot of acoustic stuff around Coshocton, and it's the Moose Lodges, and every third song is one I wrote, and it's a lot of low hanging fruit cover songs just to keep
Right.
people drinking and having
Right.
fun. And then when we get to do stuff like this Studio 117, it's a different animal because it's original music, and it's less of a beer drinkers and hellraisers and more of a
Right.
like a listening session,
Right.
if you will.
Right. Well, when I was in a band years ago, that we always tried to split it up because we didn't want to bore them to death with our originals. So
Right.
we would throw in a cover, and then we would throw in an original that was kind of in the same
Similar.
vein.
Right.
And a lot of time, and then we always picked obscure covers too. And sometimes people thought we wrote them.
Oh
So,
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
So you do like me. I like to like sandwich my original music in between a couple of covers, so they
Right.
almost don't realize it. By the end of the night, they don't even realize that was a original song. They're just like hooping and hollering, right? So
Right. But if you went out there with straight 5 originals in a row, they just kind of tune it out. It's
they
not
hate you. Yeah, your background
right.
noise.
Right. So
That's right, dude.
who are the guys you're bringing with you? So our listening audience and viewing audience.
All right, viewing audience. First of all, I gotta apologize that my voice is at half mast tonight. It dropped down to about 20 degrees the other night, and my voice went from my normal tone to about 6 octaves lower. So I don't mean to sound like a chain smoker hacking and coughing on here and clearing my throat, but it's like, dude, Ohio's weather is like, it goes from like roasting to freezing your butt off like basically instantly. I don't have to tell you, you're an Ohio guy, but
Right. I always say it's a bipolar vortex. Yeah.
that's it. So our headliner coming to Coshocton, I got props. Look at this right here. I bought this tape in 1987 when I was in the 7th grade. The band is TNT. They're from Norway, dude, right?
I didn't realize that they were from Norway. I guess.
Yeah. Well, the singer in the band is Tony Harnell, and he's from New Jersey.
Okay.
But he lives in Europe now. But he's been in TNT for most of their career, and they're not a big band in America. This was on Polygram Records in America back in the day. But overseas, they're like what Bon Jovi is in America. Like,
right.
When he plays a show in Europe, there's 30,000 people there, and bras and panties are flying up at the stage.
Right.
He plays America, he's just another guy singing until he opens his mouth, and his voice comes out, and he's got a 4-octave range, which is like amazing. I mean, think about like Queensryche or like Rob Halford from Judas Priest, just these guys that can just like knock it out of the park, man.
Yeah, just hit a note and ride it for a week. Yeah.
Yeah, like unlike me, like I got about a half an octave, dude. Like,
yeah, me either. I always tell everybody I don't sing. I just kind of yell in key.
Dude, I'm not even in key most of the time. So you got me. It's like when I first started, quote unquote, singing, it's because we couldn't find a singer in the band.
Right. I think that's how most bands get singers.
Yeah, like
nobody else wants to do it.
That's exactly right. So like I was like in this little town called Charlotte, Tennessee, and like I was a teenager and was like the little local shredder guitar player actually when I was like 15, 16 years old. And like I was playing with a lot of older musicians, but no one could sing the stuff that I was into, including myself. I couldn't sing it either. But guys like Tony Harnell can sing it. Right. So that's your headliner, man. TNT frontman Tony Harnell. And to put this out there, it's like they're only doing 3 shows in the Midwest, and that's it. The rest are like New York, New Jersey, like I don't want to say like fancier areas, but like the Heartland is getting 3 shows. Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and the show in Coshocton, Ohio. And that's it. And there's fans coming to all 3. There's people flying in. That's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Cause it's like, this guy's very obscure, but like the fans of him are like, I don't know, like they follow hard, dude. It's like Elvis or something, We got people, I've heard that like people fly in from other countries, all kind of stuff. They're like, they can't believe that he's actually playing a show in America. But the cool thing, his guitar player is like a pretty world-renowned studio guy named Jason Hagen. And he's played on so many TV shows and commercials, and I can't even begin to tell you, but you don't know his name, but you've heard his music. Every time you turn on your television,
Right.
you're hearing him on a jingle or all kinds of stuff. He's a virtuoso, and he's Tony's guitar player on these shows. And
Nice.
so they show up and they tell the stories behind the songs, and tell you what was happening in 1987 when they wrote this song, and then
That's
play you the
very
song.
cool.
It's like a big hang, man. It's kind of like the old MTV Unplugged
Right.
stuff that you would see,
Well,
so
and this
that's our
venue here
headliner.
too, it's a very intimate venue. So it's like
Yeah.
there's not a giant amount of space between you and the
Right.
crowd, and it's a really really kind of intimate, up close kind of a thing.
We like
I'm super
that.
stoked, man. I
Yeah,
can't
and
wait.
we even tell people shows like that. That's what they want, because you're getting a meet and greet whether you want to meet them or not, because you
Right,
can't
right. Like it
you
or
can't
not.
get
Yeah.
out of the room.
Right.
It's like you're gonna know what everybody smells like. You're gonna know like what cologne they wear. You're gonna hear the
Right.
song like it's gonna be you're in their face. So
Right.
TNT, I think they've put out like 14 studio albums. I got like a couple more of them here that I've been rocking to here in the house. I know I got a glare, but all of it's very high quality, like melodic hard rock. And like I say, just go to Spotify or YouTube or whatnot and just type in Tony Harnell or the band TNT and go down a deep dive. And like, if you're not familiar with the catalog, you'll be impressed with his acrobatics vocally. I mean, he's revered in that scene as like one of the OGs for that kind of style. So
Yeah, I know.
we're
Me and
excited.
Mickey were talking on the last podcast about these guys still have it, man. They're not, and no disrespect to any artists from that era, but some of them just
Right.
don't have it. Whether it was, their style of singing, just they can't replicate
Right.
anymore, or
Right.
these guys are not those guys, man. They are top of the line. Like, they didn't miss anything.
Well, I can tell you this about Tony. Like, his mother was an opera singer. And so he has been singing and trained to sing properly since he was 6 years old. And he's like 61 years old now. So it's like dude ain't missed a step, man. Like, he
Right.
ain't took a day off. Like, he rehearses every day. He gets his 8 hours of sleep, and he's doing his 4 hours of vocal warm-ups. And it's like every day of his life, because that's all he knows.
Right. And it
So
shows, man. It shows.
yeah, it's like it's not some guy on karaoke night getting up there trying to sing a Judas Priest cover and getting pretty close. It's like, no, this guy,
Right.
he does this for real. like it's shocking to me that this is coming to somewhere like Coshocton, Ohio, because it's
Right.
like, I mean, small towns don't get that. Like they're playing New York City and they're playing
Right.
like Philly and major markets, but it's like, but like when we were trying to pitch this and we were all just doing a powwow with the management or whatnot, I was telling them, when I first moved to Ohio, I met Holly, and I'd been to Ohio and played Ohio a bunch, but like I had never like stayed here a lot other than shows. But like I could be walking down the street in like a Judas Priest t-shirt, and somebody at the gas station would be like, dude, killer shirt, man. And then you go over to the McDonald's, hell yeah, man, Judas Priest. It's like, and I told her, it's like, there's a lot of rock and rollers around here.
Definitely.
Like,
That's
I
why
don't know.
That's why they put the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, man.
Absolutely right. No, that's absolutely
The
right. And it's
birthplace,
like,
yeah.
we've discussed it. It's like, I don't know if it's like people are just like, they're working on the farms all day and they're wore out. And by God, when it's time to crack a beer open and rock, they go hard. You know what I mean? But so I was selling the camp on this. I'm like, dude, y'all don't understand. Like the Midwest, when they show up, like they're like rabid animals, man, like for the rock and roll.
Right.
So that's why we wanted to pitch to, Ohio and Coshocton in specific. I told them about Rock Coshocton, and there's people that save up all year long. I don't want to say the wrong terminology here, but like, not everybody's got money to burn on concerts, but when they save up and they come out to these concerts, they want their money's worth and they want to let loose and rock out, man. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So I've seen it with my own eyes in Coshocton, man. It's a very loyal fan base. I think people are going to love the Tony Harnell set. I think they're going to be really blown away by like what this guy can do, right?
Mhm.
So in the support slot, right before Tony, we got one of my nearest and dearest Southern brothers who I've known for a very, very long time. And I'm talking about Anthony Corder, who is the singer of Tora Tora. And man, this is like, even before I played guitar, I worshiped Tora Tora. I had a Metal Edge photo hanging in my locker of Tora Tora from the 8th grade to the 10th grade. You know,
I just heard Walking Shoes the other day on like Sirius Radio, and I
dude,
was
it's
just like,
amazing.
yeah,
His
and that guy's
voice,
gonna be in Coshocton. That's awesome.
yeah, and his voice, dude, he's like, how can I say it? If Janis Joplin and Led Zeppelin formed a band together, it would be like him. Like he's got like a soul singer voice, almost like, you know how some of those black churches, like some of those women that just grab a hold of a note in choir at the church, and I mean they're
Right.
just wearing it out. It's like, and excuse my language, it's just like when he was 16 years old, Memphis, Tennessee, you know, it wasn't exactly a hotbed for like national rock and roll, but like when Ardent Studios picked up Tora Tora, it was because of Anthony. He was 16 years old, and it was like having a black lady trapped in a little white kid's body.
Right.
And he'd open his mouth, and like heads were turning. They were like, "Who in the hell is this kid?" Because he's wailing, dude.
Right.
And now, as a grown man, all these decades later, he's still wailing. I just opened for him 2 weeks ago in Nashville, and we were just like, I can't believe like how good this guy is, man.
Well, we had a shout out from Clifford, Cliff Miller. He wanted me to ask you about your disarray days.
Oh man, yeah, Disarray was rock and roll boot camp for me. Yeah, so basically, for you guys unfamiliar, when I was 18 years old, I formed a band called Disarray out of Tennessee, and we basically plagiarized from Metallica, Motorhead, Corrosion of Conformity, Pantera, just all the groove-oriented metal. I didn't want to be the singer, but no one would show up to band practice that could sing. So by default, I became the singer, and it was like a James Hetfield plagiarism, kind of yelling in the mic, kind
Well,
of hope.
if you're gonna copy somebody, those are all really good ones to copy.
You know, and when I listen to it now, I can almost pick it out. I'm like, God, it's a good thing this didn't get picked up because we'd been sued left and right just for borrowing a little too close, man. But Disarray toured America a lot of times. We were in Metal Edge magazine, Circus magazine, Revolver magazine, Metal Maniacs magazine. We signed a record deal with a company called Eclipse Records out of New Jersey. They signed my band. They signed Mushroom Head out of Ohio. They signed Boba Flex out of Wisconsin, and they signed Rob Zombie's guitar player, who had a band called Scum of the Earth. And we were the 4 bands on Eclipse Records. And man, they put us on the road, and we would leave for a month at a time, and basically come home broke and scarred up and selling merch and sleeping in the van, and fights would break out at shows. And we went all the way to California. We went all the way to New York. We've played every state in the continental U.S. We did a 5-week tour with Guar.
Nice.
Yeah, Dave Brocky from Guar produced our 4th album. We went to the Guar Slave Pit in Richmond, Virginia, and lived there for 2 weeks. And Brocky, he recorded our album and took us on tour. We did probably 30 shows with Guar, and then Brocky had a 3-piece punk band called the Dave Brocky Experience. It was the guitar player from Guar, drummer from Guar, and Brocky on bass and singing. So it's 3 OGs from Guar. we probably did at least 100 shows with them.
Wow.
Over the Disarray career. But that was training camp, man. It's like that's where I learned my stage presence. And I actually got a prop right here. This is the very first Disarray cassette. Came out 30 years ago. Came out in May of '95.
Very cool, man.
Yeah. So this actually ties to a Tora story too, and an Anthony Corder story. I can tell you the day that I met Anthony Corder. It was June 9th of 1995. And I know this because we had these cassettes printed a month before, and we were like, man, we got to get out on the road, start playing. So there was this book you could get at the bookstore called The Musician's Guide to Touring and Promotion. And it had all the major cities in America and the contacts for venues or whatnot. I was a kid, dude. I was 19. So I was too nervous to call. I'm looking in the Memphis listing and I see the Stage Stop. The Stage Stop was in a really rough part of town, and like all of my favorite bands that made it out of Tennessee, they all had the Stage Stop listed in the thank you liner notes of their records, including Tora. So I said, man, I really want to call, try to get this gig. I was a chicken shit. I wouldn't do it. So my bass player said, hell, I'll call out there. So the woman answers the phone and says, yeah, I'll book your band. I'll book you for the night of the 10th. And he's like, awesome. So he hangs up the phone and says, we're playing the 9th and the 10th. Well, she said the night of the 10th. So we go all the way to Memphis. And to put this in perspective, dude, it's like we didn't have a trailer and a van. Like we had a pickup truck with all our gear in the back and like a blue tarp over it because it's raining. And like, it's like 2 cars, maybe 3 cars going in a convoy. And it's like, we got no business hauling equipment to Memphis, right? We get there on the 9th and we pull up. And the lady that runs the joint says, what are y'all doing here? We're like, well, you said we was going to play the 9th and the 10th. And she said, no, I said the night of the 10th. And we're like, oh. And she's like, so what are y'all going to do? And we're like, well, we can't afford to drive home. That was a 3-hour backpedal. Like, we're broke, dude. We said, we're just going to sleep in our cars out here in your parking lot. She's like, no. That ain't going to work. She's like, I'll tell you what, we got a band house you can stay in. You cannot leave your equipment in the car or it won't be there in the morning. So go ahead and load your gear in. We got a band playing. And you guys just hang out here an extra day, but you definitely can't sleep in your car. So we go in, and the band playing is called Homemade Flavor. And it was like a blues, jazz, kind of funky band. And the singer of the band was Anthony Corder from Tora.
Huh.
So, of course, I'm fangirling and just punishing this guy to death. And he's hearing about my locker and hearing about, how I went to guitar lessons and they taught me the walking shoes, opening lick. And I'm just wearing this guy out, right? And he autographed a napkin for me that night, which I have to this day. I still have it. And we've basically remained friends that entire time.
Nice.
So this is going to be cool, man. Like, Anthony is a very gentle soul. He's a very sweet person, man. I think Coshocton is going to want to adopt him and make him live in the town. Like, he's like a teddy bear. It's like, they toured with all these big bands back in the day. They toured with Warrant back in the day. They toured with LA Guns. He's got so many good stories.
I bet.
And he's literally the nicest guy you've ever met in your life. Like, you'll want him to come move into the studio down there. Just say, you know what, bro, just live here. I mean, he's just a sweetheart of a human being.
From his little promo videos, man, he just seems like the nicest cat. Yeah, me and Mickey were talking about that.
Oh,
Mickey's
yeah.
like, he just seems like a genuine dude,
He's always been that way. And it's like, I've never heard him say a bad word about anybody. Like, I've heard him like talking just amongst friends, and then like a cuss word will slip out, and I'll be like, wow, I can't believe he just said, damn it, or something. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, he's almost too clean. Like it's the polar opposite of me. Like, I'm just gruff and damn sailor talking and foul language coming out. And like, we're talking about the Disarray shows where fights are breaking out. People got stabbed at a club one time when we played. And it's like, Anthony's the polar opposite. Like he's just a very gentle, sweet human and an amazing songwriter, amazing talent. I don't want to tell a lot of stories because he'll probably tell them from the stage. But basically, in Memphis, Tennessee, when Tora Tora started and word got out of what this kid could do, he's like 15, 16 years old. I mean, Ardent Studios, which is world famous, they've recorded ZZ Top, they've recorded Elvis, they've recorded everybody. They basically came to Tora Tora and said, you know what? We're going to do a development deal for you, meaning you can record anything you want in here for free. Wow. Just sign this piece of paper saying that we will shop it to a record company, and not if you get signed, but when you get signed, we're going to get paid for all of our efforts. We're going to get paid very well, but just let us walk you right into the record business because we got the connections and you guys have got the talent. And it was based on his voice, man. Yeah.
Mickey Smith says, thank you for bringing this to Coshocton. We are honored to have this show at Studio 117. Hoping for many more national artists. Definitely.
Oh, dude, no, I appreciate all y'all's hard work, man. And the thing is, Mickey, it's like when we were pitching venues around, like we thought of you. You're the first one we thought of because we had saw, you know, what you guys are trying to do between having weekend shows with locals in there to trying to bring in some nationals, trying to, you know, just gradually build this up. And it's hard in your hometown, man. It's like,
it really is.
I know the fight you guys got, and I'll elaborate. Like in Tennessee, dude, I can't get arrested, man. It's because I lived there. They know me as little Chuck Bonnett from Cub Scouts that they went to the 3rd grade with. And you never get respect in your hometown because you've always been there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I can go to Ohio and like get treated well. But like in my hometown, you know, I can't get any respect. It's the same thing with what you guys try to do with Rock Coshocton and even this. There's going to be naysayers. It's like, nah, he's not a promoter. Or yes, you are. I mean, you would not be having Tora Tora and TNT coming to your venue if, you know, or any of these artists, you know, these big artists that you've brought to Rock Coshocton, they're not going to, they got other places they can play. They've looked at this and they're like, yeah, you know, let's give these guys a shot. We like what we see. We like your hustle. We like your social media.
Right.
You know, they look at all of it.
The guys, there was the Filthy Heathens and them Dirty Roses. Those guys were just like, this is amazing. Like,
no, it's cool.
Rock Coshocton, they were just like, you know, they were telling Mickey like, man, this is the kind of events that we like to do, you know.
We agree. And that's awesome. Because they're hard workers. All those bands that you mentioned, I mean, not every show is a Rock Coshocton, you know. When there's a Wednesday night and they're moving the pool table out of the way because you got to make gas money, and there's 5 people and they're mad that you're not playing Tush and Cocaine, you're trying to play your original songs,
right?
You know, and then you go play a major stage and people are loving it. Yeah. It's validating, man. So yeah, all those bands and like we applaud these bands, man. These guys that stay on the road, like rock and roll, it's brutal, man. It I don't recommend it unless you're just like crazy like I am, or like I'm too stubborn to stop. But like anybody with a logical mind knows, do not go play rock and roll and try to do a career. Like have fun with it, get in the garage, but like it'll kill you. I mean, it really will.
I think some are just gluttons for punishment, though. If you're gonna have to be miserable, you might as well be able to pick your own misery. You know.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we showed Tony Harnell and Anthony your Facebook page there at Studio 117. We're like, we'd like to try to go here because I've had a good working relationship with the owner. I appreciate this town. You know, there's a lot of fans that like, I don't know. I got like a rabid cult following in that town just for me, much less these legit rock stars that we're trying to bring to town. You know what I mean? It's like,
you're pretty legit, Charlie.
I try, but like these guys here have got, like, they were doing it way before I ever was, and they were doing it in a different time period for the music business. Like by the time I was old enough to participate, you know, I mean, you've seen it. It's like I never thought there'd be the death of Tower Records and the death
Right.
of, you know, CDs dying off. And it's like, you know,
That
there's no
reminds me,
MTV.
I
You
gotta
know,
send Columbia House a penny. I still owe
oh,
them.
dude.
Yeah.
No, I tell that joke. Anthony Porter got me my first record deal when I was a kid. I got 10 tapes for a penny. I had to buy 2 more that same year. Right?
Right.
Totally. And just so Kashakta knows, I got the gas can with me tonight too. We're going all in.
Nice.
We're keeping it real up in here.
Right.
But yeah, they're excited to show up, dude. And you know, I'm excited to be a part of it because it's like I grew up on these guys, man. When I was a little kid, thumbing through Metal Edge magazine and seeing Tora Tora or any of these guys, it's like it seems so larger than life. I know now since I basically, if you looked at my phone, it's like little 13-year-old me cannot believe the rock stars numbers that's in my phone, right?
That's
And it's
awesome.
like they all tell me stories about how God we were struggling so bad, and you know we were only making $100 a show each because we were all on salary. I'm like, you guys are playing like arenas and like you're making $500 a week each, like
Right.
because in our minds they're all in mansions and dating strippers and
Right.
riding around in Ferraris and you know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Personal
like
jets. Yeah.
yeah, private jet, but that ain't it. They're roughing it, man. So it's like to like hang out with these guys and hear these stories, it's a treat, man. And I think Kashakta's gonna really, really love it. But
I think so too, man. Like I said, we've talked about it before with me and Mickey and Bobby, and there is so much music in Ohio and Coshocton,
it's true.
and so I mean Bobby's band Six Deep,
Yep, yep.
they're cutting edge metal, or I guess I call it metal. There's probably a real name for it, but and you know blues and country, and it's kind of a like a melting pot for music. So for us, this is the perfect spot. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
agree.
we're an hour and a half from Columbus. We're an hour and a half from about everywhere. Which is kind of geographical oddity. We're an hour and a half from everywhere. But
Well, that works out good for like guys like you playing music because it can be a hub, man. You can go play Pittsburgh. You can go
right,
still get to Michigan. I mean, that was the thing when I was in Tennessee. That was the advantage of me doing music. There was like 8 surrounding states where I could go play a show in another state and drive home that night and be in my own bed. And when you looked at the calendar, you're like, damn, CB3's on tour. It's like I am, but I'm not. It's like
right,
I'm driving to Illinois, driving home, driving to Indiana, driving home, and it's like, but to the untrained eye, man, you're killing it. You're in all these different markets. And like where you're at in Coshocton works the same. I think we've got fans coming to this show at Studio 117 from Pennsylvania
nice.
already messaged us, wanting to know tickets and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, it's a good location, man. It's a really good place.
It is. So you have shows before the
Oh
the
yeah.
December show, right?
Yeah, Holly never lets me sleep, dude. Like,
Right. Keeps you busy, keeps you out of trouble, right?
well, it keeps me out of trouble. And I gotta tell y'all, man, she's the best thing that ever happened to me ever. Like, I was on tour in 2019 with a band called Enough's Enough out of Illinois, and their road manager was from Columbus. And we got off that tour and did another tour with a band called Junkyard out of Hollywood, and the same guy was the road manager. And he told me, man, there's a girl in Ohio I need to introduce you to. You guys like all the same stuff, same bands, all these D-list hair bands that no one's ever heard of except you, that you can only find them on the dark web or in the deepest Google search.
Right.
She likes the same stuff, and it was Holly. And he introduced me to her, and it changed my life, man. But I got to tell you, she came down to Kentucky. Like, she wasn't even my girlfriend yet. She was my friend. And she came down to Kentucky for her job. And she said, hey, Charles. She calls me Charles. You want to meet up for lunch? She's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I said, yeah. So I drove a couple hours up, and I'm sitting there. She's like, well, I got this meeting I got to do for work. Just hang out. She was at her hotel, and she was doing a meeting for work, and she's in the sales department for a Honda supplier called Sumitomo. And she's on this meeting, dude, like talking all super pro and articulate and selling these parts. And it's all just not stumbling. There's not any, like when I try talking, just coherent and going. And I'm sitting there looking. And when she gets off that call, she sees me staring. I'm looking all confused. She said, what? Did I say something wrong? I said, no. Can you do that exact sales pitch, except I'm your product? And like my acoustic show and my band is what you're selling? Because like you just crushed that. And she's like, I've never booked anybody before, but I'll try. And she just now booked her 400th show for me.
Nice,
400th.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like, man, we're always working, and it's a blessing, dude, because you know the music business. You play music, dude. It's like we call it, it ain't even feast or famine. It's snack or famine. You don't even get a damn feast, right?
I've never had a feast, yeah.
I've never had a feast. But
Like,
every
you
now and
count
then,
the free pizza they give you sometimes.
that's exactly right.
That's a feast, yeah.
We always joke and we say every now and then they let the little trailer park kid go up to the buffet. You know what I mean? That's these big shows that we're all excited about with these nationals, man. I'm like, I can't believe it. You mean I get to hang out backstage and meet my rock star friend?
That's what we felt at Rock of Shockton with
Totally.
the Wolves, man. We were like, Mickey's like, nah, man, here's this, and there's a cooler over there, and there's water, and we were just like for us, and he was like, well, yeah, you're part of the show, and we're like,
dude,
okay, and even like the sound crew and everything, they're like, well, is this good? Is it? It's just like, hey, man, like 3 days ago we were in Ricky's basement, so this is beautiful.
No, and you played great, by the way, man.
Thank you, man.
I was on the side of the stage, and what a hell of a debut gig, dude. It's like no pressure at all. It's like, you know.
Well, Frank from Them Dirty Roses asked Frazier, my guitar player, is like, well, where are you guys going next? And Frazier's like, probably back to Ricky's basement, man, and learn some more stuff. You know?
Well,
it was a bucket list thing for me, man. That's the biggest stage I played on at the biggest venue, and I couldn't be more grateful to Mickey and everybody that put on Rock of Shockton and you and all the other bands there, here. Man. It was awesome.
Well, I can tell you this from the old man, and I refer to myself as the old man. I've outlived Jesus by 16 years, so I'm the old man. It's like, I can tell you, never, ever forget what it feels like to have your foot in that basement.
Right.
That's the biggest advice I could say, because like I know guys that think they are Elvis Jr. and they're not. It's like, I gotta tell you, dude, every time I touch a stage, whether it's this show we're fixing to do with Tony Harnell or whether it's Rock of Shockton or any of these big shows, it's like little 13-year-old me that had my little friends down in my mama's basement. We're just got a practice amp about that big and it's sitting on a folding chair and we're dreaming of it, dude. We're like little babies in the grand scheme of life. And we're just like, man, one day I just want to be like those bands.
Right.
And now we are. It's like, we didn't realize it ain't what it was cracked up to be. There's no Ferrari and there's no swimming pool and mansion. But it's not for the big guys either, man. I see the money they make. I see, you know, these big rock stars that are still in cover bands or, you know, playing the food court down at the mall. You know, I know platinum guys. I'll tell you a story. I knew a guy, and I won't say his name because I don't want people trying to cross-reference, but he's in a major, major speed metal, heavy metal band from the 80s. And in 1992, they were overseas playing with Black Sabbath when Ronnie Dio was still in the band. They did a tour over in Europe with Black Sabbath. And like the guy gets done with the tour, gets on the airplane, flies back to California, and the next day is framing houses and putting windows in on a construction crew with the construction belt on, It's real life because they got to have health insurance. Rock and roll don't pay health insurance.
Yeah, there's 401k for rock and roll. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This guy has children and they need insurance. It's like he basically cashed in all of his vacation time to go play with Black fucking Sabbath.
Wow. Yeah.
And now he's like hanging windows, right? It's like that's reality of
I'd like to turn that paper into the HR lady. You know what I mean? Like reason for absence. Touring with Black Sabbath in Europe. Yeah.
I know. It's so funny. It's so funny. I went out there to hang with him. It was probably my 35th birthday, I think. So that's been a while ago because I'm old. And I didn't know that I couldn't rent a car with a debit card. I didn't even have a credit card because I'd filed bankruptcy. And so I get there and I need a rental car. And they're like, "Oh, we can't take this debit card. So we're going to use his credit card." And they're like asking him to fill out an application. They're like, "Okay, name." He gives his name. Occupation. He says, "Rock star." And the guy looks up and goes, "Rock star?" He's like, "Well, we're going to need some proof of revenue." So we go back to his house and come back with like all these royalty statements and like slams it down. And they're looking like, "Well, I'll be damned." Like
You
this
are a
guy
rock
like
star,
really,
yeah.
really does this. But it's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's not what we were sold as kids as far as the illusion of the dream or whatnot. But I'm kind of glad it's not, man,
Right.
because like back to the disarray thing that Cliff was talking about, it's like we almost didn't even enjoy that back in the day because we were watching the clock, man. Back then, we were trying to get picked up by a big record company. And if you're not signed by the time you're 26 years old, it ain't going to happen. And so here we are, 23, 24 years old. We should be loving life, dude.
Right.
But like the wolves on our back door coming at us because we're 24, and it's like, now it's the beauty of being independent now, and there really are no big record businesses, and you can
Right.
upload your own music and you can book your own stuff and
Yeah.
run it all
You can be
DIY.
famous and not even tour.
Dude,
Like you
I
can have
know,
music out and not play live gigs. That's just
dude,
odd.
I know kids that make more money just on their monetized TikTok page
Right.
than I could make playing all year long. It's
Right.
like, it's honestly a great time to be doing music because the gatekeepers are very minimal.
Right. The accessibility is off the charts nowadays, which is
Right.
great. Yeah.
Right. The disadvantage is the accessibility is there for everyone. So it's
Yeah, and
very overcrowded.
it's flooded.
It's
You
very
gotta
flooded.
sift through so much horse shit to find tangible things anymore.
Right.
Like because not everybody is awful, but there's so much of that. I'm a musician. I'm gonna have pre-programmed beats. I don't actually
Yeah.
play an instrument. I use auto tune.
AI.
Yeah, and but once you sift through enough of that, you can find the meat. I mean, you can find the good stuff. It's still out there. You just got to dig deeper. Yeah.
Well, there will always be like corporate music. Like basically there's three record companies, Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers, and they own everything on a major
Right.
scale. They own the venues, they own Clear Channel Radio, they own Live Nation, they own Spotify, they own all of it. So if you want to exist in that world, which I've never existed in that world, I've taken meetings in Nashville with like, I call them big record companies, but I never could do it, man, because you look at these contracts and it's like, I'll tell you this. In 2007, I worked for a company that did radio promotion. So when you'd hear a thing, win a trip to Coshocton, Ohio to see Tora Tora, we'd be the company that's like booking your flights and booking your hotel and coordinating all that. So like I got to work at the Grammy Awards in California. I got to work 14 shows with Garth Brooks. I got to work a Leonard Skinner show. I did a lot of really cool stuff, but doing that, I got to meet a lot of movers and shakers in the record business. And there was a indie label that was still huge. I won't say their name, but it was huge. And they had really huge artists way out of my league. That's who hired me to go out and do 14 shows with Garth. And this was like 2008. And I got to talking to the president of the company, who's a gazillionaire. This guy's one of the most powerful guys in Nashville. And he's like, yeah, I would put a record out on you, Charlie Bonnett. And I'm thinking, man, I'm going to get signed, dude. Because I just recorded some demos and they kind of sucked, but they had a little potential. I mean, when I listen to it now, it was primitive. But I said, oh, yeah, what do I got to do? And he's like, well, I tell you what, if you can come up with $300,000 of your own money, we'll match that and we'll run it through the pipeline. But the thing is, we're going to own the name Charlie Bonnett III. We'll own that trademark and we'll own your image and likeness. But we have to do that in case like it blows up and then there's Charlie Bonnett lunch boxes and stuff. We make all that kind of money. And it'll be a 360 deal where we own your publishing. We own a piece of your touring revenue. We own your merchandising rights. And if you leave the company, you can't do anything else without going through us. We have the first right of refusal for anything for the rest of your life projects. You could be 90 years old wanting to do a blues album and you got to get a clearance.
Right.
And you got to come up with that money out of your own pocket. And I'm sitting there going, if you're not rich to begin with, you're not entering this game. It's not happening, dude.
Yeah, if I had 300 grand, man, I wouldn't need this contract.
That's exactly right. But that's a true story, dude. I was 31 or 32 years old. And I'm thinking, man, this is my shot. This is my only shot. Of course, I go ask my parents. Like, of course, we're never doing that. We're not taking a mortgage, second mortgage out. I'm going down to the bank. Please loan me the money. I don't have the collateral other than my house. Like, I'm considering doing this at 31 years old because I think the wolf's at the door. We don't know social media is coming.
Right.
And we can do this on their own. I was literally angry and pissed off and depressed that I don't have the money to pull this off, because if I'd had the money, I'd have done it. I'm like, thank God I didn't have the money to do that. Yeah, I look back, I'm like, man, that's the rock gods going, hell no, don't do that.
Yeah, I was in a band and we submitted some demos and I got a letter from Hollywood Records. And I was stoked, man. And I opened it up and it was like, and I knew it was just a form letter because it said, "Dear artist."
Right.
And I was like, well, they wanted to put one of our songs on a CD, compilation CD.
Okay.
That would be sold at car washes and gas stations.
Right.
But they wanted my permission to have someone else re-record it. But basically, they wanted me to sign over the rights to my song so this other band could re-record it.
Okay.
And they would put it on this compilation CD. And then they said, well, you know, if you agree on this, we'll the royalties are negotiable.
Yeah.
So I call this. This is back before the internet, man. I call this number, and the guy's like, "Well, you know, what we would really need is about anywhere from $4,500 to about $5,000 to get rolling." And I'm like, "Man, I work in a kitchen. I play music on the weekends. Like, I don't have $5,000. Like."
Right.
We'd go record a real you would have got a real demo if we had $5,000.
Right. Well,
Mickey said that he had a comment. He said people don't realize that big artists only make a small percentage of what the agencies charge. So that's a pretty good point.
Yeah, and as far as most artists, especially like legacy artists that like have got like managers and agents and lawyers and assistants and so many hands in that pot, like the artist is the last one to get paid, dude. It's like the overhead is so high and you got to recoup, you know, like let's say when Blackberry Smoke went on tour and, you know, you got 2 tour buses, all of that's got to be paid for before the band does, and insurance and roadies and you know what I mean? And they got an advance from a merchandising company that they got to pay back. It's like, it's not all just clear money where you're just rolling in $100 bills all the time. It's not, man.
Is that
It's
Do you have any
crazy.
upcoming shows like before then? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm just people can go to cb3music.com or just my Facebook, and it's a lot of acoustic weekend warrior stuff, and then I'm you're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm taking a week off for Thanksgiving, man, because it's like I gotta just have some family time. I gotta have my grandbaby and all this
Oh
stuff to where
yeah,
I
yeah.
can be papa and like decompress. But like once we're through with the holidays, we're back up and rolling. And then we're gonna do a couple of shows prior to you guys this weekend, and then a couple shows after that. And we're gonna pick a show towards the end of the year where we give all the proceeds to the local angel tree to buy our Christmas presents for some kids.
Very cool. Very
And I
cool.
also want to tell everybody that this is the second year that we're doing the Charlie Bonnett Touring for Tuition Scholarship Fund, where we take our tip bucket all year long. When you put tips in my bucket, I don't keep one penny. I give it all away. Last year, we gave away 3 $500 scholarships to kids in our community. We're shooting for 6 this year, 6 scholarships. So,
Very cool.
after you buy that cold Bud Light and you got a couple dollars and you want to throw it in my bucket, just know that's not going to me buying the new Tora Tora CD, which I'm gonna buy anyway. That's paying for a kid to go to school off the
Is
sweat of Charlie Bonnett's music.
is there a link or some way they can get a hold of someone who would like to donate to the fund?
We are gonna work on that. Yeah, originally we were gonna have a QR code that we just kind of had like at the merch table where people could do it, and then probably online as well. But me being a big dumb country boy that don't know how to make QR codes, I've been like waiting on my webmaster to figure out how to ingrain that into my Facebook and all that. Because yeah, it's one of those things. But
I feel you,
last
man.
last year we
Before we got everything linked up, I was texting Holly and saying we're trying to get the bugs worked out.
no, dude.
We had pictures and we had no sound, and then yeah. So I'm not very tech savvy
Dude,
either. So
welcome to my world, dude. That's how
right,
come I don't have a pedal board. People are like, where's all your effects? It's like I got a tuner and a boost pedal, and other than that, I go right into my live amp because
right,
I'm not smart enough to figure it out.
right. Well, is there anything that you wanted to add before we wrap it up? Or
Man, I just appreciate you guys a lot, man, and thank you,
thanks for
Bill.
doing this, man. I know you're
No,
busy. I really do
nah,
appreciate it, man.
I'm never too busy to hang out with my friends. I just appreciate you and your podcast and your band and talents and Mickey and everybody that's like trying to bring live music. It's like in my mind, we're in a civil war for arts. It's like there's so many laptops on stages now and auto tunes and like
Right,
it's like just raw in your face music is a dying art form. That's why I love that we're bringing this acoustic show to Coshocton. It's like it's no bells and it's no whistles. It's literally guys with acoustics and with hand drums and like raw vocals. And like if your voice cracks, God and everybody's hearing it because it's like
right.
there's nothing to hide behind. There's no wall of sound. It's as raw and real as it's going to get. Um, I know there's people out there that's like $25. I don't want to pay $25. It's like get off your ass, come to Coshocton, dude. Support the town, support the venue that supports all these artists every weekend. You can't even go to dinner for the price of a couple of tickets.
Right.
There's a free meet and greet. You get to meet these 80s rock stars that are like legit guys.
Yeah, and bring your merch and have them sign the
Have them
CDs
sign
and
it, have them
yeah.
sign your tickets, sign your CDs, your vinyl. Like TNT's got 14 albums. Get on eBay, buy some TNT vinyl, bring it down there, get them to sign it. It's like you can't even buy a meet and greet at a normal concert for $25. Nowhere
Right.
near it. It's like this is as cheap of a rock and roll show as you're ever going to find, dude. It's
Right.
like so any local people that are like, I don't know the songs. I'm not like you got a month to get on the internet, get on YouTube, get looking. You're gonna have a great time.
Right.
I'm thrilled to be there. It's just an honor to be a part of it. It's like I was saying earlier, I grew up on all these guys. I'm at the age now and the quote unquote success level now to where I get to like deal with these guys or their managers on a one-to-one level, and just being included, like they're going to be dragging me around to more shows than this. You know, they're talking about taking me to New York in the future, taking me to Pennsylvania with them in the future.
Awesome.
You know, these guys, like the drummer sitting in with us, he plays with Kip Winger, he plays with Trickster full time. It's like now their management's looking at taking the gas holes out on a string of shows with Trickster next year. It's just like the networking is amazing. It's like I'm just thrilled to be in the conversation, man. You know what I mean?
And you can never have too many contacts, man. You just can't.
Dude, you just, the key to it is to just check the ego at the door.
Right.
You know, just never forget that basement, man. I don't care if you play Madison Square Garden, you're back in the basement. You know what I mean? It's like you're always that little 13-year-old kid going, man, that'd be awesome to do. Like, never lose that, you know. But as far as closing words, I just want to really ask Coshocton to show up and show out, man. Come out here. These guys are my friends. They're both really sweet people. The drummer, Ben Hands, is a great guy, man. Like I say, he's played with so many rock stars that I loved as a kid. Like, I can't believe that this guy is like my buddy. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're all just working musicians now at the age they're at now. It's like there's no rock star ego.
Right.
They're happy to be coming to your town. And I hope the town will embrace this so we can do future gigs there too. And just let's build it up, man. Studio 117's got a lot of potential.
Absolutely.
Don't sleep on that venue, Coshocton. They're trying to bring cool stuff to your town, right?
Yep. And you can always go to the Studio 117 Facebook page, get any info on upcoming artists, events, that kind of thing. If there's anybody interested in being on the podcast, you can reach out to me on my Facebook page or the, what is it, Studio 117 marketing at gmail.com. I should know that, but I don't. I used to hit my head a lot, usually on a whiskey bottle, but I used to bump it a lot. I only have one more question, man. I ask this of all of my guests, and it's not really music related. It's just for my own guilty pleasures.
3 inches.
If you had to pick a superpower, and your choices were the power of invisibility, which you can turn off and on, you can control it, or the power of flight, which would have the same parameters, which one would you pick, and would you use it for good or for evil? Evil it's kind of relative. We've discussed the fact that evil could be mischievous, kind of pranks and have fun kind of evil, not like, hide your kids evil kind of thing.
Right. I would be invisible so I could intervene on people that are being evil and basically shut down evil stuff, because I believe at the age I'm at now, which I don't feel 50 years old, but my driver's license says that I am. It's like at the age I'm at right now, I don't get angry, dude. I don't get jealous of stuff. I'm happy to be in the conversation, and I just look around and see how toxic and negative the world is, and I don't want any part of that. So to answer your question, I would be invisible, and I'd just show up and just shut down everything I could do negatively, because I just think that music should be a powerful thing and a positive thing.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Charlie, thanks, man. We appreciate you, bud.
I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all just keep doing the good work, man. I'm proud to be on the team, dude. And thank you guys for the invitation tonight. And thank you for the invitation for Tony Harnell to show up down there, and Anthony Corder and Charlie Bonnett from the old Disarray days coming down there. Awesome. I might have some surprises up my sleeve. I don't know, as far as set list and maybe a guest. You never know, but it's going to be a really, really good night, and we're going to have a great time. And I need all of our people in Coshocton to come out.
Absolutely.
That's what I want for Christmas. What do you want for Christmas, Charlie Bond? I want you to come out to the show.
Yeah, pack Studio 117.
Pack it out, dude. Show them that we love it. Show them that we need to do more shows like this.
Right. Well, thanks again, Charlie. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you real soon. Bill, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Keep jamming. You keep playing too, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, you guys.
Have a good night.
See ya.
All right, folks. Well, I think that's it, man. We don't really have a closer other than behave yourselves.